Singing formants, or tuning your formant in singing and vocal training, is probably the most complicated and complex concept to understand when it comes to vocal training. And what I've tried to do with the 4 pillars of singing in the training system is to keep it as simple as possible. Believe me, you can go deep, and even I would be lost on some of the deep information in regards to formants and acoustics at that scientific level. I've got books on it, but that's not my job, is it? My job is to understand enough about it to help you learn to train and become a better singer. But obviously it's important if we have acoustic modes, and I'm making a big deal about vowels. Everybody who is a good voice coach is making a big deal about vowels. In my opinion, you can't have acoustic modes and discussions about vowels without understanding just a basic level of what formant is. Now, formant, that's a fancy voice lesson talk. What does it really mean? Formant in singing is not the physical dimension of your vocal tract. When I say vocal tract, I mean the resonant space, okay? Where the sound waves are vibrating and resonating inside of. So formant is not the measurement of the physical tissue of the vocal tract, but it's really more the measurement of energy, resonant energy in the vocal tract, in the resonant space. A nice metaphor to help understand that better is if you take a bell and you gong a bell and it vibrates, and you put your fingertips on a bell, it's going to vibrate and tickle the tips of your fingers. That energy you feel in the tips of your fingers is the resonant energy. How much of that resonant energy, if it's strong or weak or what have you, is the formant. All right? When we sing and we train, we are producing formants and resonant energy in our vocal tract. Now, what happens is that resonant energy inside the vocal tract needs to be stabilized. It has to be balanced and aligned. And as we go higher in frequency or lower in frequency, in a sense, as we take our phonation package and we move it through time and the change and shift of frequency, the resonant energy inside your resonant space, the formant of your body, tends to become unstable. That energy stops being synergistic and begins to be chaotic. When that resonant energy becomes chaotic inside your vocal tract, it feeds back to the physiology, things like your vocal fold compression, your larynx positioning, your embouchure, and other things, and it makes us grip and push. So one of the things I'm saying to you here is when you're singing or training and you're pushing and having a problem with it, all of us, we tend to blame it first on the physiology, but that's not always the case. 9 out of 10 times, it's not a problem with the physiology. That's not the source of the problem. That's only the effect of the problem. That's a symptom of the problem. Really, the source of the problem is the formant, the resonant energy, and therefore the vowels, the singing vowels, are not tuned properly for that given frequency. Okay? So, formant, the measurement of resonant energy in the resonant space of your voice. 2, that resonant energy needs to be balanced and synergistic. 3, as we move the voice, either training or singing, through the change of frequency, that resonant energy wants to crap out. It wants to bounce out and create problems. And what that does is it then transcends to the physiology and makes you choke and push. So what do? How do you keep the formant energy aligned and balanced as you're singing and training through different changes of frequency? You modify the vowel. Back to the vowel. The vowels, the singing vowels, are kind of like a steering wheel. that's guiding the resonant energy in your body to keep it aligned and balanced. If the vowels, the singing vowels, or the formant is tuned properly, you can bridge your passaggio. You can bridge and connect smoothly. You can sing a super high C5 and go on and beyond in your voice if you're using the right vowels and you've balanced and aligned your formant energy. Now, it's not everything you need to worry about, but it's a big part of the story of good singing. In TVS, in regards to our methodology, we are certainly going to talk about formant tuning, balancing that energy from time to time in the context of the acoustic modes and the vowels. Now, let's talk about training content.